Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Michaela and I'm going today to do with you a new pattern, and it's a sports pattern. Can be used actually also as swimwear or activewear, as pole dancing. Really, there's a lot of options about it, and it's a crossed top pattern. It's so cool, so chic, such a nice beautiful design. And this pattern is a little bit more intermediate, but also can be done by beginners sewing sewists by following really all the steps in this video. So I'm going to present you the pieces. I have here my front pieces, and I know they look a little bit strange. There is a right piece and left piece, and I have here this is the underbust band. This is my lining, and I've only made lining for the front as well, sometimes I find it's not necessary for sports tops, but also because in my case I'm using here a tiny bit thicker lycra, so I didn't feel like I needed a lining for the back piece. But if you do think you need lining for the back piece, you can actually cut another back piece in lining and then just simply do a basting stitch all along the back piece. But that being said, we're gonna start with the construction. So we're gonna start with the front piece, which could be the trickier part, but actually once you've done it, it's like so easy. So first things first, I'm going to tell you I'm going to do on one side, and then you'll just have to mirror on the other side. Yes, so I have here the front piece, and you see these little tiny curves, right? And what I'm going to do, this is my right side of the fabric. I'm going to be placing it on top of each other, and I am going to be pinning, or just simply using some pins like this, but I actually prefer pinning. So I'm pinning all along. And this is how we are creating actually this kind of like band for the crossing over. And we are going to do, I'm going to do a basting stitch all along, and then I will be going and I will be serging it. But I just wanted to tell you that in case you don't have a serger, you can always use your zigzag stitch on your normal sew machine. For this part, you do not need to add any elastic whatsoever, but for a lot of parts, yes, you do need, and I do recommend using it, since this way the fabric will get a little bit more recovery, and I would say using an elastic perhaps makes it the fabric last a little longer. So that being said, I am going to do the basting stitch, which is actually just a simple straight stitch. And I know this bit is a little tricky because of obviously such a little tiny U thingy. So it's important to go slow so you're matching them. Okay, so now I've done my basting stitch, and what I do want to do well, you see, I didn't match it really perfect. So I am going to loosen up a little bit the seams because I want to match it perfectly. So that is perfectly allowed. In case you're not matching it, you can always redo. It's absolutely normal. Sometimes sometimes stitching it from a different direction could be more helpful. So this is what I'm going to do right now. I'm trying to stitch it the other way around. Lycra fabric is usually a quite tricky fabric, so sometimes aligning the parts not the easiest thing, but this time I've managed to align them perfectly. So what I'm going to do, I am going to make these little cuts into my stitch like this, so I'm allowing stretch to my fabric. What you can do, you can also once you've zigzag stitched or you've serged it, you can actually remove this stitch. It's just a help stitch. As you can see, lycra can be very slippery, can be a little bit tricky, or in general knitwear fabric can be tricky. So now I'm going to my serger and I am going to serge this bit in the same way. In the same way I've stitched it. So with this bit being done, we can actually turn this piece of the fabric on the right side, and now I'll be doing off camera the other side, and the same, I will turn it on the right side of the fabric, and then I'll come back and I'll show you the next step, which would mean unifying these two parts, so we are creating one full piece. Okay, so I have here both front pieces turned already on the other side, and for the moment we will ignore this this bit like with V, and what we will do, we will stitch this centerpiece together, so we are creating a full front piece, and from here on actually everything will become so much easier because the front piece is already close together. So again, I'll be doing first a basting stitch. Why? Because I want to align the seams together. So obviously the basting stitch helps doing exactly this, can be better controlled. So I am matching them like that already with my finger, and I'm actually feeling it. I am actually feeling it. and I didn't match it exactly, but it's very, very close by. So I'm going to do this little cuts into it, and then I go to my serger, and I'm going to try to match it a little bit over there. So I'm going to release tiny bit more of the pressure, so I'm going to try to match it a little better. Whoops, that came loose. Okay, so second try. So as you can see, I went really, really slow, and I did match it better in this second try. And now we have a full frontal piece. I'm almost getting excited. Yes, and one of my kitties was playing with this fabric, so I hanged it a little bit, but no problem. So now I'm bringing into play the little lining, the front piece lining. And what we are going to do it, we are going to place it. As you see, I've turned this front piece on the wrong side of the fabric. My lining does not have a wrong side or a right side, so I'm placing it on top, and I'm going to start pinning it, and I'm actually really pinning it everywhere. So I'm pinning the center, I'm pinning the sides, I'm pinning everywhere, and then I'm going to do a baste stitch to match it all together. I am back, and I've stitched with a basting stitch the lining like I told you, and I also did the little cuts into the stitch, so it gives us quite a stretch. And I have here the underbust band, and I did use this little pin in order to know which one is my lower part, since as you can see my lycra is a little bit rolling. As I told you, it's a little thicker fabric, so I'm not sure it's because of this or just simply because I've been keeping it a lot in the closet. So that being said, I am going to mark here the center of this band, and this is the wrong side of the fabric, and I am going to turn the top on the right side, right, and I am going to be placing it so the part which comes like a little bit in the tiny V like that, this will be placed on top of the top, and obviously the straight part is going to be the lower part of the top. That being said, I'm pinning everything, and the fabric is quite slippery in this moment, so another basting stitch will be needed. And yeah, I do say it sometimes, in case you feel like you're not needing any basting stitch, perhaps in case your fabric is not slippery, you're really not obliged to. It's a optional step, but I highly recommend it in order to get a really good sewing results, so nothing is out of place, let's say like that. So I'm going to be basting stitch, and then I'm going to my serger, and I will be adding elastic to this bottom part of the waistband. I will be adding elastic. So once I'm done with the basting stitch, I'll show you how I'm adding elastic. Okay, so I have here I've baste stitch my underbust band, and I'm going now to my serger, and I have here my rubber elastic. Like I told you, it's a 6mm rubber elastic, and even I do have a guide. I actually prefer to guide it sometimes with my fingers, and in this case I am actually guiding it this way because I'm slightly pulling the elastic, like really bare minimum, just because I am going to do a top stitch after, so this seam does not stay awkward under the skin. And here it is, already serged with the elastic added, and now it will be looking like this. Yes, it's starting to look really beautiful. So yes, what I've been saying, that I'm going to do a top stitch. So what I'm doing, I am actually going to be folding this seam towards the I'm going to fold it towards the inside, and you can use a zigzag stitch, or if you have a cover stitch, you can top stitch it. I do have a cover stitch, so for this purpose I will be using my cover stitch, but if you don't, you can use your zigzag stitch. Normally my zigzag stitch, I use a normal stitch length and stitch width of 3. Just remember that the seam, it is going towards the under waistband. Okay, so I have done the top stitch from the under bust band, and the next thing what I'm going to do, I am going to be pinning like this the center of the seam to be in the center, kind of like hidden, right? Because I don't want this seam to be visual. If you prefer, you can measure it. I don't think it's absolutely necessary since it's such a small piece. So I'm doing a basting stitch. So this way I am securing the 2 layers of fabric together, and I have marked here on my pattern. I actually mismarked first. I've marked here on the pattern where this band, crossing band, will actually start, right? So starting from here, I am going to do another basting stitch. So obviously this is already fixed, and that will mean that the front piece, it is complete as an entire piece, right? And we'll be ready to attach it to our back piece, and the project is close to be ready. So you'll have to mirror on the other side, but I will explain you the next step, and then the next step will be actually obviously crossing the other band and doing exactly the same thing, right? I will be doing this off camera, and I will explain you the next step. And the next step will be, this is my right side of the fabric, placing it on the right side of the fabric for my front piece, and I will be doing first a basting stitch and then a serge to my shoulders area, and also obviously to the other side. Once I'm done with this, I will be adding elastic on the wrong side of the fabric, around the practically around everywhere, even in the bottom side, also here for the underarms and the neck area, and as well, sorry, the sides not, because they will be obviously serged, but the back, the lower part as well. Once I've done the elastic, once I've added the elastic, I will be actually folding inside and top stitch the top, and the project will be finished. So for the moment I am actually doing off camera the other side of the band, and like I said, I am going to be stitching the sides and the shoulder area, and I will be showing you just one part on how to add the elastic. But in case you don't want to follow anymore the long videos, I just already told you the next steps to be done. So this is the last step I am going to show you, and I've already searched the sides and the shoulders, and now we'll be attaching elastic on the lining side, so all on the both U parts of the top, on the underarms and the lower part of the top. So I'm going to actually show you just one side, and I'm going actually with one underarm, and I'm simply placing it under the serging foot, and I have here my elastic. Like I said, elastic is optional but highly recommendable. If you don't have rubber elastic, you can always use braided elastic, also useful. And like I said to you, in order not to have waving, I recommend you to slightly pull the elastic, like really not too much, just a bit, so you will see it's creasing a little bit, so when you're top stitching it will not be waved. I am also going to show you how I top stitch it, but like I said, in case you do not have a cover stitch, please use your zigzag stitch on your normal sew machine. Okay, and here I am going to my cover stitch, and this time I'm turning it on the right side of the fabric, and I like to start in the same place, and as you can see, I'm taking the seam and I'm folding it inside, and actually I am feeling it with my fingers, that I'm not getting any bulking fabric underneath, so that's why I'm like slightly pulling it. So it's the same exact procedure in case you would do this with your zigzag stitch. I do it with my cover stitch machine since it's much faster technique. I can't wait to wear the top today. And here is the top stitching. You see it's not waving. nothing whatsoever. So now you have almost your top almost ready. Look how beautiful it looks like this crossing bit. I just can't wait to wear it. So if you have any questions, please feel free to write me, and if not, I wish you happy sewing.